What is up, my fellow clout givers? I am back with another God tier, unscripted video. Today we are responding to Latina Parfait at 11 in the night. So this video came out in response to my video on Annawaifu. Not the second one, the first one. We're just going to go ahead and get right into it. We're going to dissect this video, starting with this thumbnail. What is this thumbnail? First of all, why is my headband Black Lives Matter? This is my actual statement. No lives matter. And also, what's with the Ukraine flag on my hoodie? Makes no sense. I don't even know who this bitch is. What is this? What is this avatar? This is mega cringe. It reminds me of my old avatar, if you guys know. I made my old avatar in MS Paint, and it is, like, so bad. I can tell this was made in, like, MS Paint or something like that. But anyways, enough of that. Enough of, like, stupid bullshit. We're gonna go ahead and get right into the autism.
Also, I will not rest until I have the Synthetic Man and Acme video collab.
Oh, somebody kill me, please!
When someone's a fangirl for Synthetic Man, you know we live in the worst timeline.
When somebody is a fanboy of Battlefield 2042, hating on my
Video's already outdated. Goodbye. I'm just kidding. But yeah, no, I am not a fanboy of Battlefield 2042. I made some defense videos from it, from people like One Boom and Dreamcast Guy, but I was not a fanboy for it. I just thought Battlefield 2042 was fun at the time. I don't anymore.
fellow synth cell Annawaifu, you know we are in the worst time.
Yeah, what is this? What is this? Blah.
Anyways.
Timeline. Now let me just insert my my 2-minute long intro fair use card over some like generic EDM, then I can like actually start this shit.
You can skip it, you know, just like this. Whoa, you can do that? That's crazy.
Much better. But yeah, I have decided to team up with Annawaifu and defend her from Brother Near's bullshit.
Hey everyone, it's me, Annawaifu, the biggest female simp on YouTube, joining the Giga Chad, Latina Parfait.
Real talk, real talk.
Hey, I'll be hopping on to say
So this is going to be a 2v1? Sounds like fun. Double the action.
stuff here and there, and that's about it, really. I'm really happy to actually be on this channel, so let's just get this started.
But yeah, Brother Near tries to act like a pseudo-intellectual in all of his...
Tries to act like a pseudo-intellectual. How do you try to act like a pseudo... What? That makes no sense. You're saying that I'm acting like a person that acts like he's smart. That's like... That makes no sense. You don't act like a pseudo-intellectual. You either are or aren't.
Videos, and as we watch his amazing response video together, and no, I'm not talking about the one he just uploaded that is like 40 minutes
Why not? That one's goated. It's unscripted.
long. Nobody has time to watch a response to like another response of a video.
Like real talk.
But yeah, as we
Okay.
watch it, I'll be showing you how Near gets both triggered and butthurt over Annawaifu's video.
I was triggered? Oh no. Oh, I can't wait to see how I was triggered. And soy. I just can't wait, bro. I cannot wait to see where I was triggered. Fun fact, guys. My videos are scripted. I guess I was angry while my video was scripted. And right here, this video is unscripted.
About how
Mind-blowing.
casuals are ruining gaming.
Since the very birth of video games, please tell me how they somehow spawned out of nowhere during those aforementioned years. I was never told, by the way. They never told me how.
Like, as we'll come to see, he really uses examples like StarCraft of all games as to how games weren't nerdy back then.
What? That's not what I said. I brought up StarCraft as an anecdote on how, like, video games were not considered niche. I never said that playing StarCraft doesn't make you nerdy. What? Strawman?
Really, fucking StarCraft.
If anything, StarCraft is like the nerdiest shit you could ever play.
Like, he's an actual mouth breather. But yeah, make sure to like
Says the guy that is constantly like inhaling into the mic.
this and sub and all that good.
Like, dude, at least I have the audacity to edit my voiceovers. You are just like, you're like that meme. Hold on, I gotta find that meme now. You're like this meme. You're the embodiment of this meme. Yeah, you're like that meme. That's you right now.
Shit.
But my fellow clout givers, I'm back from my imaginary vacation where I was actually just being lazy.
You ain't funny.
Wow, bro, that
To each their own.
you're so quirky, bro. Let's just skip ahead, because just like how Nier wants to get to the point where Annawaifu talks about how casual is ruining gaming.
Gamers, not give us a pointless exposition. This whole 62 IQ thing I feel like is projection. Like, it's just a very specific number, and I feel like that's the number they got out of their actual IQ test. There's no way this is not projection. I'm sorry. About yourself.
I also want to get to the point and not hear his backstory about some guy named Krillix that I don't really know or fucking care about
That's twice now that Krillix got shouted out. It's my boy. It's my favorite white boy.
in the slightest.
According to the great and wise Annawaifu. I mean, just think for a moment.
You only play games casually? Fucking losers.
Jokes aside though, imagine thinking that casual gamers have had any
Why was that not sped up, but the rest of this is? I don't get it.
negative impact on the gaming industry whatsoever when they are arguably one of the few reasons why gaming is so much bigger than it ever has been.
Imagine thinking that casual gamers have had any impact on the gaming industry whatsoever when they are arguably why gaming is so much bigger than it ever has been. Bro, that sounds like an oxymoron to me.
An oxymoron. So, me saying that the gaming industry is so much bigger because of casuals is somehow a bad thing. Okay.
Real talk.
That's exactly
What's with the Rings of Redemption real talk clips? I'm starting to think like you idolize this person, which if that's the case, I feel very sorry for you.
how they have had an impact. What the fuck are you talking about? They have had an impact because developers, instead of making actually good quality games, want to dumb down their games for a wider and more casual audience.
That's on the developers, not the casuals.
We can take a look at most franchises and series and see how over time they become more dumbed down and lose charm. A
It's not the casuals' fault, that's the developers.
perfect example.
Because developers don't have to appeal to the casuals. But some companies like Sony decide to do that anyways, even though they don't need to. Like, are you going to tell me that games like Ultra Kill or OTXO or Hotline Miami or Doom Eternal appeal to the casuals? Games like CSGO, Team Fortress 2? Nah, bruh. Nah. But like, despite that, even if those games are hardcore, you can still play them casually. Which we'll get into later.
Being the Elder Scrolls series, excluding Arena and skipping up to Morrowind, the game had a
Hot take, Elder Scrolls is shit. I have never enjoyed an Elder Scrolls game.
multitude of skills and actual in-depth D&D and pen and paper mechanics. Going to Oblivion, what did Bethesda do? They dumbed down the game by removing skills, adding scaled leveling, etc. Going to Skyrim, they dumbed down the game even further by completely removing attributes, and yet again,
I know next to nothing about any of this. I'm pretty sure Psyche can, like, analyze this shit, because he loves Bethesda games more than I do. So, yeah. I'm not going to comment on this.
more skills to make the game more casual, friendly, and easy to play. Same with Fallout, going from New Vegas to 4, they completely removed skill points in nearly all role-playing for...
Also, despite these, like, quote-unquote missing features or whatever the fuck, Skyrim is, like, literally still one of the most popular games of all time. I'm just saying.
generic shelter building.
Please tell me why Skyrim, like, is bad. Despite the fact it's like the most popular game of all time. Well, not the most popular, but like one of the most popular games of all time. People love Skyrim. People love Oblivion. People love Morrowind. They love Fallout 3. They love Fallout 4. I love Fallout 4. So please tell me how this is going to negatively affect the gaming industry.
Because that's what casuals love to do. Base building, what do casuals love? They love Minecraft. And because it's just go
So we're not allowed to like Minecraft anymore. Okay.
to X area, shoot monster, and build your base. It's sold the most in the entire franchise to nobody's.
So video games are not allowed to copy Minecraft in any aspect. Okay, got it. Video games can't take inspiration, guys. I'm sorry. If your game has any Minecraft elements, it's just a bland copy, and you should just stop making video games. You unoriginal fucks. How dare you?
Surprise. Appealing to a wider audience 9 times out of 10 means dumbing down your game so it has more, it's more accessible.
Real talk.
So more accessibility is a bad thing now? What the fuck? Okay.
Like, it isn't rocket science. Another thing is
Also, more features like that, like base building, doesn't mean it's accessible. That's not really true. It just means they're adding more features to a game. Accessibility would be like games like OTXO, where they'll make it so that it's easier to find enemies depending on how many enemies there are on the level. Accessibility would be like aim assist and ultra kill. That's like adding in features like base building into other games is not really accessibility.
cutscenes and focusing more on graphics when all the development time is spent on the cutscenes and graphics to appeal to the normies and
The vast majority of video games do not invest that much into cutscenes. It sounds more like you're talking about Sony games rather than like the vast majority of video games. Like, Sony games are a very big factor on like video games that have a lot of cutscenes.
soccer moms. Guess what, genius? It's obviously going to take away that development time that could have been used to actually develop more mechanics and physics and actual gameplay, and take away those resources or money or whatever it may be. Like, you're straight up delusional or being disingenuous if you're trying to claim fucking otherwise.
Boy, another video.
I've never denied that certain games have cutscenes like that, but that's like a very small minority. Textbook example, Sony games like Death Stranding or Metal Gear Solid 5 or Last of Us Part 2 or fucking any Sony game like that, any like PlayStation exclusive besides Spider-Man, because I've heard Spider-Man's really good. Sony games are like a big factor on like video games that have a lot of cutscenes. Telltale games are a pretty big factor too, but like, yeah, not all video games are like that. If you don't like those kind of video games, just play a different fucking video game. It's as simple as that. You're acting like casuals just can't play whatever they want.
About politics and gaming because I hate myself. That's a woman? We're not even 5 seconds into this video and I'm already cringing extremely hard.
You know, if you're going to speed my clips up, you should at least like lower the audio so that it's not squeaking like this. This is a mistake that I made in some of my videos, but it's not even a mistake. That's just how HitFilm works. Because like in HitFilm Express, if you speed up a clip, it just pitches up the audio for some reason, and I don't like that. So yeah, that's a bit annoying.
You do not have the voice for any kind of commentary, my guy. Or gal.
I stand by this point, by the way. Latina Parfait does not have the voice for commentary either.
Telling us that you're going to shove politics into gaming where it does not belong.
Why'd you cut off a clip? What? Okay, whatever.
Who in their right mind would think this is okay to upload based on the first few seconds of this video alone?
Shove politics in games where it does not belong?
This guy is fucking stupid!
Have you been sleeping under a rock for the past decade? Hasn't half of modern AAA games had politics in them? I guess Apex
They're not shoved into your face, though. Perfect example is like Fallout New Vegas. Fallout New Vegas is a game that does politics right. Like, different factions in Fallout New Vegas have like different political standpoints, and there's like several different political messages in Fallout New Vegas that actually work because it's part of the narrative. And then they're shoving in politics into your face where it does not belong. I'm not saying that video games can't have politics in them. I'm saying that shoving politics into video games where it does not belong is fucking stupid.
Legends having Black Lives Matter and trans flags and emblems isn't so political, but let me guess, you're probably one of those libtards who thinks that LGBT isn't politics. Or how about
Oh my, where'd you get that impression from? I love making content out of these fucking stupid channels. They love to assume the worst things about you. Like, oh, LGBT isn't political. Well, yeah, it is. I've seen the movements. I've seen the laws regarding this kind of shit. It sucks for those people. I'm bisexual, for fuck's sake. Yeah, stop assuming shit. Like, it's so retarded. It's so funny when people do this. Like, oh, you're probably this because you say this. Like, oh my god.
Call of Duty with their 500 different LGBT flags. Saints.
Dude, just say you hate gay people at this point. It's so ridiculous that you look at these flags in a game and you're just like, oh my god, they're doing this in my video games? It's woke. It's fucking woke. Just say you hate gay people. Just say it, Annawaifu. I want you to be honest. Just say you hate gay people.
Row with capitalism bad.
I told you before, the idols are trying to build a post-capitalist society.
Yeah, and this is one of the many reasons why Saints Row Reboot failed. This game literally failed, and this is one of the reasons why. What's your point?
Where money is not a concept.
The Last of Us 2, and how they made Abby a bodybuilder during a zombie apocalypse.
Abby is fit. Game's woke. Sorry, guys. If a woman is fit in my video game, it's woke. Sorry.
How about how modern games remove gender for body type? Also about the
They do that? Okay, cool. How is that political?
thing with Abby. There's no way that a woman like her could get that much muscle mass in 4 years, so yeah, there's that too.
Like, real talk.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Also, you can do politics correctly in games. For
Yes, like I mentioned earlier, Fallout New Vegas does politics right.
example, BioShock or Fallout New Vegas, they handle
Hey, thanks for proving my point.
it well because it is woven.
They're acting like I said that you can't have politics in video games, which is not true. I said that shoving politics into our faces where it does not belong in order to push a narrative is fucking stupid.
Into the story. BioShock is about what, like anti-capitalism and like freedom of government and religion or whatever, but it's, you know, it's not one-noted. Infinite did the whole, though oppressed become the oppressors. Politics can work, but modern developers have no idea what the fuck they are doing other than what pronouns.
AAA developers, not modern developers, AAA, mostly AAA. That is like the core problem when it comes to games that do that.
To put in their Twitter bios.
So what are we going to talk about today, kiddos? Well, it's going to be about how casuals ruin gaming, and it might get political in some areas, so I guess leave if that bothers you.
Damn, you're even self-aware that adding in politics into this topic is retarded.
How does that make her self-aware? Adding in politics makes it retarded.
Because she's aware that a lot of people hate it when politics are shoved into their faces. Fucking idiot.
Okay, I said it might get political in some areas, so I guess leave if that bothers you. That doesn't make me self-aware that adding politics is retarded. All it means is some people don't like politics.
It was hyperbole, by the way. It was literally a hyperbolic statement.
And like I said, they should leave if that bothers them. Like, I think you might be the retarded one here, buddy.
Real talk.
Literally taking a hyperbolic statement I said seriously.
Video games have always led into a specific niche. Mostly people who got bullied or wet willy because you were seen as a nerd, a geek, or made fun of for liking video.
Okay, this section right here is so stupid. I want you guys to keep in mind that this bitch is like 20 years old, and she's speaking on behalf of people that were like playing video games in the 90s and the early 2000s. And she's saying that people got bullied for playing video games alone. When she started playing video games like after the Xbox 360 came out. Like, what? You're speaking on our behalf when you haven't even played video games till like after the Xbox 360 came out. You don't know jack fuck about like the history of gaming. Oh my god.
Games. Even in the early 2000s, my timeline, you were made fun of for playing video games.
Damn, then I guess hundreds of millions of other people got bullied because of their gaming habits then. And totally not because of their mental gymnastics like you yourself have showcased here. You're gonna sit there and tell me that video games were considered niche back in the 90s or 2000s when games like Doom,
Yes, then you're retarded.
Halo, StarCraft, and GTA came out, which are just a few examples of extremely popular game titles that came out in that time frame.
Doom, Halo, StarCraft, and GTA. Well, let's do a quick Google search for like the numbers that these games have sold. The original Doom sold what, 3.5 million physical copies and 1 million shareware copies, which sure may have been a large amount for the time, but by today's standards it's practically nothing, especially compared to.
Do you know why? Because advertising back in the 90s was hard. Advertising back then was not as easy as it was now. Now, advertising is like everywhere. But back in the 90s, You only had to resort to things like the radio, TV, the newspaper, and billboards. That's what you had to resort to if you wanted to advertise something. And advertising's not cheap. But like nowadays, advertising is everywhere. It is so easy to advertise in this current day. So like taking that into consideration, the fact that Doom sold that well back in the 90s is great. And another fun fact about Doom sold more copies than Windows XP. Let that sink in.
Titles like Minecraft, which sold over 200 million or so, Skyrim with 60 million, GTA.
Why are you bringing up these games? I was talking about video games in the aforementioned time frame, like the 90s and the early 2000s. Why are you bringing up Minecraft and Skyrim? Those did not come out in the 90s or early 2000s.
180 million. So yeah, 3.5 million copies was a lot back in the 90s, but not enough to where it wouldn't be seen as geek shit. Let's do Halo
I didn't say that if you played Doom back in the 90s, you were not considered a geek. Strawmanning.
Combat Evolved about 4 million, StarCraft barely selling 1 million copies. Like, bro, you go around and ask any normie if they have a...
Wait, hold up. Did she say barely? That's not barely 1 million copies. That's over 1 million copies. Fucking stupid retard.
Selling 1 million copies. Like, bro, you go around and ask any normie if they have ever even heard of the name StarCraft before, and I guarantee you, I placed money on that shit, that they would be like, bro, is that supposed to be a Minecraft ripoff or something? Like, really, using an obscure ass Blizzard title like
obscure title? StarCraft? You want to tell that to the entire state of Korea? Go do that right now. Go to Korea and tell someone that StarCraft is an obscure title. I'll wait, bruh. Need I remind you that StarCraft 2 was so big that it is literally the reason why Twitch exists. Were it not for StarCraft 2, Twitch would not be a thing. Literally. You're going to tell me that StarCraft is obscure when 1, StarCraft 2 is the reason why Twitch exists, and 2, it is literally considered the biggest RTS of all time. Yeah, you're delusional.
StarCraft as to why games weren't seen as nerd shit back then, when that game is literally the definition of nerd shit. It's literally...
I didn't say it wasn't.
RTS, a niche genre in and of itself. In the original 2...
you say it's a niche genre, but we literally have... Blizzard veterans, as of right now, reviving the RTS genre, supposedly, with their own RTS game called Stormgate, which I am very hyped for, by the way. Stormgate is being made by veterans of Blizzard, you know, people that made games like Warcraft 3 and StarCraft 2. I am very excited for Stormgate. But, like, RTS games are still a thing. Like, sure, they're niche, but, like, it's still going strong. StarCraft 2 is still being played to this day, mind you.
GTA sold, about 1 million or so copies. Even getting to GTA...
So, like, what is this supposed to prove? Like, the sales numbers of these games selling, like, over 1 million copies. If anything, these games selling, like, over 1 million copies tells me that it's not niche at all, and a lot of people still play video games.
3, which is when you could make an argument that gaming was, like, beginning. It was, like...
So, what? Gaming was beginning in 2001. That is when GTA 3 came out. You're saying that gaming was beginning in 2001 ever since GTA 3 came out. Yeah, you're retarded. Tell that to Doom, tell that to Mortal Kombat, tell that to Killer Instinct, tell that to StarCraft. Yeah, those games would like to have a word with you.
Starting to pick up a lot more mainstream success and becoming, like, more known to, like, all the casuals and shit.
Dude, I need to preface this, alright? This was actually explained in the Actman's video on arena shooters, ironically enough. Doom, back in the 90s, was so big that any other game that was similar to Doom was literally called a Doom clone. That's how big Doom was back in the day.
Only sold, 10 million?
Do you even know the history of gaming, or are you just so completely oblivious to that fact you just somehow came to the conclusion that video games are niche?
Parfait just explained how and why they were niche. Just because they sold...
They weren't, but okay. And Parfait's explanation was retarded.
A lot for their time doesn't mean they were considered nerd shit, especially.
Oh my god. Oh my god, that's such a dumb argument because that is literally not what I said. I brought up these games as examples on how video games were not niche, and they're strawmanning me by saying they weren't considered nerd shit. That is not what I said at all. Oh my god, this video is so bad so far, and we're like 9 minutes in.
In the 90s. Do you really think that every jock in school after football practice was going home to play their Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis?
You really think that jocks from middle school don't play video games? You're taking like stupid stereotypes from movies and amping them up to fucking 11. Like, that's insane. I guess if you played football in middle school, you don't play video games. Sorry guys, it's just how it is. The great wise Annawaifu said so.
Playing Sonic 2 and fucking Toe Jam and Earl? No, they were
I don't even know what that is.
beating those kids up and stealing their lunch money. I mean,
That doesn't mean they don't play video games, but go off, sis.
I know people in my videos said that, oh, that was just your experience, that never happened. Like, dude, I literally know like hundreds of kids who got bullied for liking video games. I was in gaming clubs. I
That explains why you got bullied.
knew people. I had friends. I knew people. Like, I knew people who had to hide their consoles from their parents, their girlfriends,
Did you grow up in like a religious zealot family or something?
their boyfriends.
Because like anywhere else I go to, like video games were renowned for like being a pastime. Like nobody cared about like video games that seriously. They did not take video games that seriously. They just acknowledged that video games are a thing, and they're like, oh yeah, I'll play this, I'll play that. Like, dude, video games are not that serious. Like, where did you grow up in to be in this environment where like video games are like the spawn of the devil? Where did you grow up where people thought video games were like spawns of the devil? I'm very curious because this is like something you made up. It sounds like something made up. I am not joking.
Because if you were caught playing video games, you were seen as a nerd, you were bullied, you were...
I'm not denying that. You're just taking an anecdotal statement from your perspective and saying, oh yeah, this happened and this applies to everybody in the 2000s and early 90s. When it's not true. It's literally not true. You're taking your anecdote and saying, if you're in the 90s and the 2000s, you were bullied for playing video games. That does not apply to everybody.
were laughed at, especially me being a gamer girl that made it 10 times worse. And then in 2012,
Nah, you got bullied because you're in a gaming club. That's an L, bruh.
2013, the casuals started playing video games and fucking ruined everything.
Casual gamers have always existed since the very birth of video games. Please tell me how they somehow spawned out of nowhere during those aforementioned years.
Does your brain like not function properly?
No, I'm pretty sure yours doesn't.
Just because, casuals existed back then doesn't mean that the majority were casuals. This is
So, back in the 70s when Pong came out, you're going to tell me that people didn't play that game casually and thought it was cool, and they would play that as a pastime. You're really going to tell me that casuals didn't play Pong. Literally the most casual game ever made in the 70s. Like, yeah, you're fucking retarded.
This is what happens when you try too hard to be a pseudo-intellectual.
How do you try too hard to be a pseudo-intellectual? That's not how it works. You either are a pseudo-intellectual or you aren't. There is no try.
So you could be saying, isn't it a good thing that more people are playing video games so you aren't bullied anymore? The answer is no. No, sir, it's not a good thing.
Are you seriously gatekeeping a literal hobby right now?
Yes, I am.
Then you're fucking retarded.
I don't think there's anything wrong with gatekeeping a hobby and not wanting people to come into said hobby, ruining it, because that's exactly what happened to
Explain. Please, nobody gave me an answer for this. Please, explain to me how gatekeeping this hobby is going to benefit the gaming industry in any way. Tell me how that's going to benefit our games.
gaming 20 years ago. The people who were bullying nerds are now playing video games themselves and eating up that goy slop.
Okay, and that's a bad thing?
Every year they're buying the new FIFA, the new Madden, the new
People that play FIFA and Madden nowadays, we make fun of actively. 100%.
Call of Duty. Okay, I also buy the new Call of Duty, so maybe I'm like a fucking, maybe I'm a hypocrite.
Oh, maybe take your own advice and gatekeep that shit.
I don't know. But no, seriously, encouraging these brain dead developers to continue making garbage. Just look at
When do we what? When do we actively encourage developers to make garbage? Please tell me when we do that.
Ubisoft, for example. The casuals eat that shit up, but any gamer with self-respect knows that those games are actual dog shit and aren't touching them unless they go on sale for like maybe 80% off them, maybe.
Most of the time Ubisoft sells like a game really good, it's because it's Assassin's Creed. That's pretty much all fucking Ubisoft's known for. It's either Assassin's Creed or Rainbow Six Siege or some Far Cry games here and there. That's about it.
They're worth it because, you know, it's like
nowadays Ubisoft is not taken seriously at all, especially games like For Honor. Oh my god, For Honor sucks.
10
like I don't understand how they could take an okay game like For Honor and then just butcher it completely.
$10 for a Ubisoft game, you know.
Athen, if you're watching this, I know you're watching this, Athen. Yeah, For Honor still sucks. Stop playing it.
That's about right. But I'm sure Nier will say, but, well, why should you care, you know, what the casuals are playing, bro? Why are you so concerned about their life?
I mean, makes sense to me. Why do you care? Why do you care what casuals are playing? Just give them props for, you know, having a taste.
Style.
I mean, fuck, dude. We make fun of Thunderstruck for playing Call of Duty Black Ops 4 all the time. We make fun of Krillix for playing Destiny 2. But do we ultimately care what games they play? No.
If they love Assassin's Creed Entry 26 and Far Cry number 89, let them enjoy it, you piece of shit. Love is love, bro.
I mean, yeah, let them enjoy it. If someone likes a game, let them enjoy it. You don't have to like it. That much is clear. But don't just hate on somebody because they like a game that you don't.
Well, I counter it by saying that has led gaming to like where it is today with Sony walking simulators and dead lifeless open world
Cherry picking Sony games.
Games where no
What generic open world game?
developer ever wants to try something new.
Oh, I'm sorry guys. I bought Elden Ring. I'm actively ruining the gaming industry. Sorry.
Because if they do, it's not going to appeal to the normies. That's the problem. As gaming has become larger and more profit-driven, which, yes,
gaming has always been profit-driven.
No shit, developers always wanted to make money. My point is, developers had, you know, they had more passion before. And
they don't have passion now? Are you going to sit there and tell me that games like Doom Eternal have no passion? What about Elden Ring? What about Spider-Man? What about Ultra Kill? What about Starship Troopers Extermination? You're going to tell me those games don't have passion? You're delusional if that's the case.
Weren't always tied down to like shareholders and shit, forcing them to make games for actual retards. They made games that they actually wanted to play and not shit that would appeal to sheep.
If anything, you are the very type of person. Sorry guys, if you play X game, you're just a sheep. Sorry. Person that could ruin the gaming industry for everyone else. There is absolutely nothing wrong with an ordinary person getting into the hobby of playing video games. And if anything, it just makes you look incredibly stupid, which, to be honest, has already been established here.
The issue of casuals entering a medium like this
I love how they don't address that. That's kind of funny.
is that they don't really care about the medium itself.
Then why are they actively consuming said media?
Because they are consuming said media doesn't mean they care about said media.
Then why are they consuming it? That's the question.
Not to mention actively is kind of a stretch. Most NPCs
How is it a stretch?
by only a handful.
Also, imagine unironically using the term NPC in 2023. Kinda cringe, not gonna lie.
Of games, you know, a couple games every year, and typically stick to the free-to-play shit. You know, games like Fortnite.
Oh, so casuals are exclusively people that play free-to-play games. Got it. Casuals, you're not allowed to play any other game out there. You just play free-to-play shit.
Apex
Sorry.
and Warzone. The games they do buy, they'll play for a couple hours and move on. They just do it to pass time and nothing else.
Real talk.
Quality of your content uttered.
I swear to God, the Wings of Redemption's real talk clips are so annoying and cringe. I'm starting to think that you idolize Wings of Redemption, bro. I'm just saying.
garbage, especially with the kind of voice you have. That aside though, no, casual gamers as a whole don't make up a standard for video games. A person's standard for what video games should be is entirely subjective. All you're doing is generalizing an audience and coming into bizarre assumptions that they somehow have one consistent low standard.
And young people who didn't grow up with video games don't
Not gonna address that either, huh? I guess I was correct.
give a shit about to play older ones.
Now, I consider myself relatively young. I'm 21 years old and I've been playing video games since I was like 3 or something, I don't know. And I consider myself to be a pretty casual gamer. Your argument is immediately nullified by the fact
In what world is playing a game for 15 years casual? This one.
that I've been playing the original StarCraft for more than 15
Also, when I said I've played StarCraft for 15 years now, that doesn't mean I played it for 15 years straight. That's how long I've had the game.
years now.
Nobody cares, nigga!
God War Ragnaroks or Call of
Okay.
Duties or Assassin's Creeds, GTA, whatever it is. They don't care about quality, they care about graphics and if it's relevant. It doesn't matter if the game is good, it doesn't matter if it's going to make them happy, or if it's $60 worthy. No, if Markiplier talks about it and it's got decent graphics, it's a 10 out of 10.
This is something else I want to address too, when she brought up Markiplier. People don't go to Markiplier for game recommendations. They go to Markiplier for, you know, Markiplier.
I am very curious on where you got this information from. This sounds like something you would witness in a console war.
Near, are you actually stupid?
No, I'm pretty sure you are.
We all know normies love graphics. They
If casuals love graphics, explain Minecraft. Literally the best-selling game of all time. Explain Minecraft, explain Fortnite, explain Ultra Kill, explain Vampire Survivors, explain any game out there that is so popular that has the worst graphics or different art styles out there. Explain those games selling much more than. Explain those games. Why do casuals care about graphics so much, but Minecraft is the best-selling game of all time? Why do casuals care about graphics so much, but Vampire Survivors sold so many copies? Explain.
there is like obviously exceptions and shit, but you trying to
Of course there's exceptions. That doesn't mean casuals only care about graphics. You're acting like casuals only play those games. They don't.
claim otherwise is a serious case of mental gymnastics, like in its purest form.
And if that's the case of mental gymnastics in its purest form is this entire video. Let me tell you that console warriors are far from casual gamers, as they are literally extremists that will take a bullet.
Bro, literally
You just cut me off. Fucking loser.
nobody is talking about console fanboys. You're literally
The reason why I brought up console wars is because what Annawaifu was saying about casuals is what sounded like a console war. Because do you know how much console fanboys will boast about graphics in their video games? They do that all the time. Look at channels like Fratanga or Oh No It's Alex. They talk about like Sony fanboys all the time boasting about graphics or anything out there about PlayStation games. They do it all the time. I don't watch Fratanga or Oh No It's Alex, but I guarantee you they still are talking about Sony fanboys. And yeah, they do that. They boast about graphics all the fucking time. This sounds like something you'd hear at a console war. Casuals don't hold graphics as like a top priority. Casuals care if a game is fun.
the one who brought up that shit, you fucking retard.
For a piece of plastic. I also don't understand. You sounded very like reluctant there when you called me a retard. Like it's like you were quieting down. Like you were afraid to wake up your mom. And how you come to the conclusion that casual gamers don't care about the quality of games when there are a lot of cases of gamers out there explaining why said games lack quality. Battlefield 2042, Star Wars Jedi Survivor, Diablo Immortal, Fallout 76, Back 4 Blood. Oh yeah, shit, this. Keep that same energy. This guy was defending Battlefield 2042 and saying more modes would be bad because it would split up the community. First of all, I did not say that was a bad thing. I was just saying that splitting up the community would happen if they added more modes. I didn't say that was a bad thing. I was just speaking facts. Oh, and by the way, I was right. In the current state of Battlefield 2042, ever since they added like new modes, and I got this from a friend of mine, like Conquest is dead because they added so many more modes. That's it. That's just it. I got this from a friend, and it turns out I was right. Conquest in Battlefield 2042 is dead. So, yeah. Wolfenstein Youngblood, Duke Nukem Forever, Dungeons & Dragons Dark Alliance. When a video game is objectively bad, people will call it bad. The only people that will not do that are the extremist fanboys.
This is 100% a straw man that he is making.
A straw man? What? How? How is that a straw man? Alright, let's find out.
He's using the extreme examples of shitty games like Diablo Immortal.
How is using extreme examples disproving my point? Like, regardless, it's an example that casuals care about graphic. I almost said that. I am retarded. I should kill myself. But I was using those as examples that casuals care about quality in games. I brought up several examples. It wasn't just... You're cherry picking Diablo Immortal as well. I brought up several examples like that. Like, hell, even Annawaifu brought up Saints Row reboot. Like, you're telling me that casuals don't care about the quality of video games when there have been so many cases where casuals like complained about a video game being bad, like objectively bad. Yeah, you're pretty delusional. I still can't believe I almost said that casuals care about graphics. Unironically, I am going to shoot myself later. Anyways.
Literal fucking mobile game.
Real talk.
And Duke Nukem.
So, I still don't see how this is a straw man. That makes no sense. Like, just because it's a quote-unquote extreme example doesn't mean my point's wrong.
Forever. Game's so shit, in fact, that even a normie, a literal NPC, they can tell that the game
You cringe, you're still saying NPC to this day.
is dog shit, bro. Like, this is a straw man he's doing.
That's not what a straw man is.
Say that Jim Sterling or the Act Man give good, criticisms and reviews on games.
Yeah, no. If anything, what you just did is a straw man. No sane individual would think Jim Sterling makes good reviews anymore.
Jim Sterling never made good reviews. He was dog shit before and has become even more dog shit as time went on.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. You proved nothing.
Gamers, the number one thing ruining this industry.
Took you long enough to get into the meat of the subject. Almost made me click off the video there. You wouldn't want to drive away the attention of your non-existent audience, would you?
My non-existent audience. Does having 5,000 subs really give you this much of an ego? If
Yes, it does.
so, that's quite pathetic. No one knows who
My previous channel died at 300 subs. You don't think 5,000, almost 6,000 is a giant leap? Yeah, you're delusional.
you are.
Like real talk.
Oh, nobody knows who I am, huh? Who are you? Annawaifu. Who the fuck are you? 600 subscribers, 49 videos. Your most popular video? 10,000 views. And then after that is your Casual Gamers Ruined Gaming video, which got a measly 3,000. Who are you? Now, let's compare that to my channel. Almost 6,000 subs, 51 videos. That's only 2 more than you, by the way. Videos. Popular. My most popular video is almost at 200,000 views. This one, 167,000. This one, 120,000. This one on Griffin Gaming, 53,000. This one on Mayo, 46,000. 45,000, 29,000, 19,000, 14,000, 10K on Krillix, and get this, irrelevant ass Discord drama involving Ex Lucas and Road Breach. 3,000 views. You're gonna sit there and tell me that nobody knows who I am, yet somehow, when I made a video on some irrelevant ass fuckhole Discord drama, I got 3,000 views on that. Yeah. Eat shit.
I made a post in the past about Nier being a fanboy dipshit for Battlefield 2042, and he got
Outdated video. I don't fanboy for Battlefield 2042 anymore, and I never have. I just thought Battlefield 2042, at the time, was a good game. I don't anymore. I just thought the game was fun. I personally found it fun. You can make fun of me for that all you want. I don't care. I thought the game was fun at the time. I don't anymore. That doesn't make me a fanboy. I was just defending the game from very stupid criticisms from people like Dreamcast Guy and the One Boom. And I also made a video on the Act Man back then, which I deleted because I don't stand by certain points on Battlefield 2042, but the main point that I do stand by when it comes to the Act Man is that he was being a hypocrite because during that time when he was criticizing Battlefield 2042, a very broken game at launch, he was simultaneously promoting a very broken game at launch, New World. He was literally a paid sponsor for a very broken game that was bricking people's GPUs. So, yeah. Outdated video. Delete channel.
So butthurt and upset that he started making up lies and shit about what DICE has done and being like, oh, bro.
What did I lie about? Can you, like, show receipts or anything? That would be very nice if you showed receipts of me lying.
Bro, Battlefield 2042 didn't have to launch with more modes because that, like, splits up the community, bro. Like, literally.
It would. Did you know if you add in more modes to a video game, that it will split up players that play different modes? Perfect example of this. Call of Duty. The vast majority of people that play Call of Duty will either play Team Deathmatch or Kill Confirmed. And then there's like a smaller portion of the Call of Duty player base that will play games like Capture the Flag, Search and Destroy, Infected, or any other mode in Call of Duty. The vast majority of people that play Call of Duty will play Team Deathmatch or Kill Confirmed, or a third mode that I'm not thinking straight. But yes, adding in more modes to a video game will split up the community to play different modes. It's as simple as that.
He has 62 IQ.
So, like, tell me, where is the lie in that? It was even confirmed by one of my friends that played Battlefield 2042, that, like, ever since they added more modes to Battlefield 2042, Conquest fucking died. Like, nobody plays Conquest. So, like, tell me where's the lie in that?
Then when he eventually passed me in sub count, because at the time he was at several hundred, and this was like a little after Battlefield released, I believe, Battlefield 2042, and then he made a comment about passing me or whatever, so it's nice to...
So, first time I watched this video and she said this, like, I made a comment about passing her in subs, I looked into it. I tried finding the comment I made, and I checked my video on The One Boom, I checked my video on Dreamcast Guy, and I checked one of my live streams. I also checked one of my community posts. The second community post I ever made was responding to Latina Parfait. And I could not find the comment. So unless if Latina Parfait has a screenshot of me saying this, you're an L.
No, he still has the same ego. Can't imagine his ego and pseudo-intellectual capabilities when he hits 10k or better yet, 100k.
Bro, my ego is going to be off the charts when I reach 100k. I promise that at 100k, I'll show my face. Straight up. Real talk. Real talk right there. But yeah, 100,000 subs, I'll show my face. No cap.
Like, real talk.
Casuals are the reason lefties are even in this industry.
Man, don't you just love it when politics are needlessly shoved into your face over video games and how you are somehow ruining the gaming industry? On YouTube, we call that Wednesdays.
You ain't funny. Oh my god.
To each their own.
Because as the video game crash of the 80s and 90s, all the industries were wanting to improve graphics and try to broaden their horizons to get everyone into gaming, even though casuals care less about gaming.
First of all, there was no video game crash in the 90s.
Well, to be fair, she did say 80s and 90s. But
I was referring specifically to 90s. There was no video game crash in the 90s. Yes, there was a crash in the 80s, but not the 90s. That was my point.
yeah, I actually agree with Nier here. Sorry, Anna, but like, let's be real. I'm sure most, if not everybody, is glad developers focused more on graphics during that time because they were pretty dog shit, and that's coming from somebody who does actually appreciate.
Nobody cares.
Research before making videos like this. Secondly, I guarantee you more than 90% of casuals do care about gameplay because when it comes to video games, they expect to have some gameplay.
Yeah, key word there, some gameplay.
Saying to watch.
That is not how I worded it. I said some gameplay as in that's what casuals expect. They expect some gameplay. They expect gameplay to be in their video game. I did not mean some gameplay as in there's just a tiny bit. Just a tiny bit of video gaming right there. I meant they expect gameplay. That's it.
How downhill this industry went in just 2 decades.
But you do know that the gaming industry has gotten so much bigger than it ever has been because of casual gamers, right? The only decline you could argue is the quality of games from certain companies like Blizzard. Other than that, you haven't proven how exactly casuals ruined this industry.
Well, I proved it, so you're welcome.
What? What did you... Okay, whatever.
Fuck it. Real talk.
You haven't proven anything, but okay. Just keep telling yourself that. Whatever helps you sleep at night.
Real talk.
Speaking of that, I should probably go to sleep. Good God. I should not be up right now.
The developers care more about appealing to a mass audience by dumbing down their
Not all developers care about appealing to a mass audience.
gameplay to appeal to the most people possible and constantly holding...
If you made the argument that this is based on the AAA industry, fair enough. I would 100% agree that most AAA industries care about appealing to the casuals. But like every single developer out there, nah. Does not apply to every single one of them.
in your hand, or how whenever you play a modern game, there's always somebody talking to you at all times, to hold your attention span.
What games are you playing? This sounds like something you'd hear from a mobile game. Like, I would know. I played several mobile games, and I hated every single one of them. Like, that is like the textbook definition of something you see in a mobile game is like the fucking tutorial that lasts for like 10 years. Like, oh, do this. Now do this. Now do this. Now do this. Oh, you can do this, by the way, but do this. Just do this. Spend that. Do this. Do that. That's a mobile game right there. And I'm just going to need some examples on like actual like AAA video games that do this. Like Doom Eternal has a tutorial, right? But the thing about Doom Eternal's tutorial is that I'm pretty sure it disables on like after the first time you play it, and you can turn the tutorial off. It's very helpful. Not all games have a tutorial like that. Elden Ring does not have a tutorial like that. And neither does Ultra Kill. Neither does OTXO. But yeah. This does not apply to every single video game or developer out there.
Of which might as well be a fly. Another thing is obviously in the increase of cutscenes, which take away money and time that
Sony games, yes, but not every single video game out there in existence
could be spent on other aspects of the game, considering it is a game after all and not a fucking movie. And just because the industry has gotten bigger, that doesn't mean better. It's like,
so the video game industry is bigger, but it does not mean better. So Half-Life doesn't exist, CSGO doesn't exist, Doom Eternal doesn't exist, Elden Ring doesn't exist, Ultra Kill doesn't exist. Fuck, man. I guess none of these games exist because the gaming industry is so much bigger now, but it's not better. Rough. We truly live in a society.
like saying that generic open world game is better because it features a larger world than the linear game. Like,
what game are you talking about? I need examples. Please give examples so that your point is more concrete.
It's an absolute fucking retard take.
Dude, real talk.
Company behind real talk. Kill yourself. Behind that game, and thus that also harms the video game industry. Please do tell me how He's really acting like all these AAA developers can't afford to lose out on a game flopping, when most of them make millions, if not billions, on microtransactions and DLCs every year. 62 IQ, not gonna lie. Parfait, do you know basic financing? You do realize that if a game flops and they don't break even on their budget, they're fucked. Financially, they're fucked. Perfect example of this? Forspoken. Forspoken sold so bad that the game studio behind that game shut down. And you're going to tell me that these companies are like not going to be fucked over because they don't break even on their budget. Yeah, you're fucking stupid. Video games require money. If they don't get money, they don't make video games anymore. So yeah, just a little lesson in basic finance. Hindering the success of a game is going to improve the gaming industry in any way.
Another stupid take. If a game is dog shit and a company continues making dog shit games, we as the consumers should call it out.
I didn't say you shouldn't. That's not my point. That's not even gatekeeping either. Like, what? I'm saying you shouldn't gatekeep the entire hobby, not that you shouldn't call out developers for making shit games. That's another straw man.
I'm not gonna fucking buy that dog shit fucking game and be like, oh my god, and get on my fucking knees and like put that shit in my fucking mouth, deep throating that shit. Now, obviously, the point near is trying.
I feel like this is so disturbing that you say that in that context and your avatar is drooling like that. That's a bit sus.
That shit in my fucking mouth, deep throating.
I'm glad my little avatar thingy here is covering that up. I'm just saying.
That shit. Now, obviously, the point Nier is trying to make is that by not supporting these shit games, they won't have money to fund other games, which isn't necessarily true.
Why does it exclusively have to be shit games? Also, if that was the actual point I was making, why didn't you just say that earlier?
True, because most of these large AAA studios can afford to have several flops. These aren't
Explain Forspoken then.
indie fucking studios we're talking about who depend on a single game. If we stop buying and stop praising this mediocre trash, maybe it will send a message to these incompetent developers to, I don't know, maybe try something else, try something different, instead of making the same generic garbage they have been for the past 10 to 15 or so years with little to no fucking innovation.
Treating us like Mexicans working in a cotton field.
Imagine being so out of touch of reality that you make ridiculous analogies like this. I already know what she's gonna say here.
It's a joke. You can't handle a joke.
Just watch. That's what she's gonna say. I have the perfect response for that because I know for a fact that she's gonna say it. Just wait for it. She's gonna say it.
It's always soy boys, getting mad and upset over analogies and jokes. Quite.
There it is. Now, here's my counter argument. Annawaifu did not present it as a joke. It was presented as something serious. It was taken as a serious analogy. And you should also take into consideration that she deflected this criticism because, it's an emotional opinion piece. So, if her video was an emotional opinion piece, then how am I supposed to tell that she was joking in that analogy? Now, to be fair, analogies can also be jokes, but the way it was presented was not a joke. It was presented as something serious. It was presented like an actual serious, analogy. So, yeah.
Funny.
Only people that live in their basements 24/7 would come to this conclusion.
No, of course not. They're not apologetic.
You're right. I won't apologize for playing video games as a pastime and not participating in your little gatekeeping crusade. You can keep crying about it all you want.
I'll keep crying about it while you keep defending retards.
Bro, says the bitch that fangirls over Synthetic Man. Games in the first place, then nobody would have complained about the absolute dumpster fire that is Diablo Immortal's game loop.
Again, he is strawmanning by bringing up extreme examples like Diablo Immortal.
That is not a straw man.
Which is a piece of shit game that nobody likes aside from,
This doesn't disprove my point that casuals don't care about quality. But okay, go off, sis.
What genius? Casuals. Also, let's stop lying to
Yeah, if casuals are playing Diablo Immortal, we'll make fun of them. Just saying.
ourselves. Here we both know casuals aren't the
Also, I guarantee you that some players of Diablo Immortal are the same people that you complain about, like nostalgia eaters. Which, by the way, they are not casuals. Nostalgia eaters are not casuals, Annawaifu. Do not make that argument.
ones going online making videos about how Diablo Immortal is a bad game, nor are they the ones posting shit on Reddit. Casuals don't use Reddit, and they sure as hell aren't uploading videos about the gaming industry and making videos on why a certain game is bad. You are so
So casuals are not allowed to voice their opinions on a video game. Got it.
pathetically easy to break down. It is almost like taking candy from a baby. It's
Man, I can say the same thing about you. You're basically a lolcow at this point with the amount of stupid-ass takes you make. Like, you are trying so hard to be like Synthetic Man's copy. It's hilarious.
hysterical.
Or how poorly unoptimized Star Wars Jedi Survivor is. Or how Blizzard just recently canceled the PvE game mode for Overwatch 2. Casual? So are both of those extreme examples as well? Is that also a straw man? Because I brought up Star Wars Jedi Survivor and Overwatch 2, which are very recent examples of like AAA developers fucking up. That's a straw man, I guess. Straw manning. Sorry. Gamers all around will complain about a game's issues.
The vast majority.
Sorry guys, you can't complain about a game's issues. That makes you not a casual.
of casuals may complain about issues. I don't think anybody's like actually denying that because
Bro, you've literally been denying that. You and Annawaifu have been denying that this entire video. What are you talking about? Did you rewatch your video or reread your scripts? If you even have a script? Dude. Yes, you've been denying it this entire time. I find your lack of self-awareness disturbing.
those are objective issues, shit like performance and bugs. You don't need to be a scholar in the video game field, you know, the video game landscape to know.
Okay, but you and Annawaifu have been claiming that casuals don't care about quality. So, yeah. You should probably proofread your scripts when you get the chance.
Those will, you know, impact your enjoyability of the game. But again, the casuals, or a vast majority, are not the ones going online to complain and voice their opinion. And if they...
That's right, guys. If you're a casual, you can't just voice your opinion on a video game. So sad. So sad indeed. If you voice your opinion on a video game on the internet, you're just not a casual. I'm sorry.
They aren't going online or in message boards, etc. to complain. Their voice might as well be non-existent.
Because critiquing the quality of a game and being a casual player are not mutually exclusive.
Just like people who
Exactly.
binge Netflix, they don't care if the show is good. If it's there, they can stuff their face with Cheetos. Why give a shit about the quality? We're living in an era where quantity wins over quality. Put a bunch of shit out and people will eat it up no matter how bad it is, because video games are just a pastime to these people.
First of all, this is a false equivalency. Movies are something that you're supposed to keep watching, while video games are something you're supposed to interact with.
Well, you aren't actually making an argument here or saying really...
Really? I'm not making an argument? I'm not making an argument even though I'm saying this is a false equivalency, because movies and video games are entirely different mediums? Wow. Thanks. What a great argument.
Anything of value. Movies you keep watching, guess what? Video games you keep playing. Like, what the fuck are you
Hey dumbass, you literally just took what I said and just worded it differently.
even talking about at this point? Just because you interact with them differently doesn't mean that that they aren't being consumed in the same exact way. You fucking...
They are being consumed differently, because video games and movies are two completely different mediums. One you interact with, the other you watch. Two entirely different ways of consuming it.
retard.
Exactly. Whether you have to sit there and
Exactly. You're so right. You're so true, Oomphy.
watch a movie or sit there and play a video game, it doesn't disprove my point that normies eat up the shit and that they prefer quantity over quality. Like Parfait.
Example? An example to prove this point? Source? Where's your proof?
Oh, my proof, I've been playing video games for 15 years. And I'm going to virtue signal on casual's behalf.
Has already stated multiple times. Ubisoft games are the perfect example. They're the same game every year, just with a different coat of paint, but since the game has hundreds...
That's like every other video game franchise in existence. It's the same thing, but with new shit, or a different coat of paint. So stupid.
hours a game.
You realize that's every single video game franchise in existence, right? Mortal Kombat, it's the same fucking game every time. Call of Duty, it's the same fucking game every time. Dark Souls, it's the same game. Doom, it's the same game. I can literally apply this logic to every single video game franchise, and it'll make you sound stupid.
Gameplay from tedious side activities and copy-paste objectives, normies eat that shit up. Like, you are the definition of a pseudo-intellectual.
And yes, that says the motherfucker that calls anything they don't like woke. Includes even Telltale games, because even though those kinds of games are mainly cinematic, you still have to interact with the game in order to progress.
Bro, the argument she was making is that it's the way that they are being consumed, you fucking idiot.
And I'm explaining how consuming this media is entirely different from the other media. Whoa!
Idiot.
This does not apply to movies. Secondly, if nobody cared about the quality of TV shows on Netflix, then the whole controversy regarding cuties would have never happened.
Again, with the extreme examples, almost everybody except a certain community who have an entire month dedicated to themselves, of which I won't name, all think cheese pizza is bad. So no shit, the casuals and soccer moms aren't going to sit there and do nothing about it. Also, that has nothing to do with the quality, you mouth breather.
What? Did you seriously say that? Oh my god, you're not unironically defending cuties. Good fucking lord. Delete your channel, please.
Cuties could have been the most high-budget film with the best actors of all time. It wouldn't
Yeah, bro, I want my child porn in the highest definition possible, please.
change anything. And here you are doing this
Yes, you can go ahead and take that out of context. I don't care, it's funny.
same exact shit that you criticized Annawaifu for doing. You're using a false equivalency.
Motherfucker had a stroke trying to say equivalency. Like, oh my god, that is so funny.
Because this has nothing to do with the actual quality, but more so a disgusting act that nobody condones. You are a
I mean, that also affects the quality. Josh told me about a movie just now, actually. Before I started recording this. What was the movie called? It was like some romance film. Like some really stupid romance film that involved like pedophilia or something. What's it called? Apparently it's called Call Me By Your Name. So like, the context is like, a 27-year-old and a 24-year-old and a 17-year-old fall in love with each other or something like that. I don't know the movie. Josh told me about it. But like, with that in consideration, I feel like that can pretty much affect the quality of a film or a movie or a show. So yeah, you're fucking retarded.
literal fucking moron.
They're always moving on to newer things that their favorite childish YouTubers are talking about.
I also love how you cut out other examples I gave, like Q-Force and live action Death Note and 13 Reasons Why. I just love how you conveniently cut that out. Because extreme examples. I can't bring up extreme examples. That's a straw man. Oh no. Even though it's not.
Whatever is popular and they believe it's good, and then in a month they'll forget about everything they play. The real issue with casuals is that they don't care about the medium they're associated with. Who cares that there's wokeness in video games? Who cares that white characters have been changed to black? Who cares that the game crashes every few seconds because these games are so poorly optimized? Oh my god, I hate modern games so much.
I cannot understand what she's saying because you sped up the video so fast.
Oh my god, I hate modern games so much. God, this is the most Reddit video I've ever had the displeasure of watching. I feel like
Dude, I literally can't understand what I'm saying either. Don't do this. Don't speed up the videos like this.
the bottom of the barrel of YouTube content. Most normal people don't pay any sort of attention to the quote-unquote wokeness of a video game.
To be honest with you, I'm kind of retarded.
And instead, they focus on the... I'm retarded for what? I couldn't even understand what I was saying there because you sped it up so fast. The actual issues that these games may have. You are trying way too hard to paint this entire audience as just a bunch of blind idiots.
I mean, most casuals are NPCs, in other words, blind idiots who believe in whatever the popular thing is.
When in reality, you don't even know what a casual player even is.
Yes, I do. A casual player is somebody who plays Fortnite, Apex, and Warzone. A casual...
Oh, if you play those games, you're a casual. Don't play anything else, guys. If you play anything else, you're just not a casual gamer. Sorry.
A player is somebody who buys a new FIFA game year after year.
That is not a casual. We make fun of those people actively for buying those games continuously. And yeah, no, that is not the definition of a casual gamer. A casual gamer is someone that just plays video games for fun and not in a competitive way.
But do you think...
Okay, this is another problem I have with Annawaifu and Latina Parfait's videos, right? They view casual players and competitive players as like a black and white sort of stance. Like, if you're a casual player, you can't be a hardcore player. That's what they're basically saying. Because hardcore games exist and casual games exist. Even though a hardcore gamer and a casual gamer can coexist within one person. Perfect example of this is a game I came back to recently, Zuma. If you guys even know what that game is. Zuma's Revenge. This game right here. Actually, no, not Zuma's Revenge, just Zuma Deluxe. This game right here, Zuma. This game right here, a literal fucking kids game. Zuma, where you do a match 3 on some balls before they get to the end zone right here. This game right here. I came back to this, it's still fun, and it is like the textbook definition of a casual game. It's a very casual game, right? But that doesn't mean you can't play it competitively. Perfect example to prove my point? Well, even though Zuma is a casual game, people do speedruns of it. There are literal speedruns of Zuma Deluxe. Look how quickly he finished. 9 seconds. He did that in 9 seconds. Yes, you can play games either casually or competitively, regardless of what kind of game it is. CSGO, perfect example of this as well. CSGO is primarily a competitive game, but you can also play it casually just to have fun. People can do that. This isn't some black and white kind of thing. Casual gamers and competitive gamers can be one singular person as well. It's not one thing and then the other.
What do you think lefties are? Casuals.
Wouldn't you also be a lefty by your own logic?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm kind of retarded.
Seeing as how you had a long exposition about yourself or playing Pokemon makes you a lefty? I mean, yeah. You know what I'm doing right here, Latina? I am using her own logic against her. Because she said, if you're a casual, you're a lefty. She said verbatim, what do you think lefties are? Casuals. So, with that into consideration, I decided to use her own logic against her, and I called her a lefty because she played Pokemon, which is one of the most casual franchises you could ever play. So using her own logic against her, that makes her a lefty. Earlier about how much you played old school Pokemon, I mean, dude, you can't get any more casual than playing fucking Pokemon of all games. I also love how when I do this, you take it so seriously and actually think that's what I'm saying. Like, oh my god. They don't even realize I'm just using Annawaifu's logic against her. It's so funny.
How does playing Pokemon make me a lefty? And there are
Anna, I'm literally using your own logic against you. Oh my god. The fact you even took this seriously. The fact you took this serious. Oh my god. This is how you know you're stupid, right? You make a very stupid statement like, oh, if you're a casual, you're a lefty. And then I use your own logic against you, and you're just like, well, how does that make sense? Like, it's so retarded. I can't believe. Oh, fuck. I can't believe you actually fell for that. I can't believe he was... I can't even speak because it's so stupid. I can't believe you actually took that seriously. You don't even realize I'm using your own logic against you. Like, holy shit. You're actually stupid. You're actually fucking disabled. Oh, that's so golden.
There are hardcore Pokemon players everywhere. Shiny hunters...
Yeah. Okay. That doesn't mean that they aren't casual players as well. They can be hardcore players of Pokemon and a casual gamer of something else. I took way too long to say that, but like, yeah, point proven. A casual gamer doesn't have to be just a casual gamer. They can be a casual gamer for something, and they can also be a hardcore gamer for something else. This isn't like, you're acting like that. If they are a hardcore gamer, then that's all they can ever be is a hardcore gamer. When it's not true. Also, yes, casual Pokemon players exist too, not just hardcore ones. Once again, proving my point that if you play a video game, you can either be a casual or a hardcore. Or you can do both. You can do both.
YouTube.
You can do both in the same game.
You name it, competitive, etc. That doesn't make me a lefty because I played Pokemon. I don't even...
Dude, the fact you even took that statement seriously. I was using your own logic against you. Oh my god. You have to actually be dumb to not pick that up.
I don't play Pokemon anymore.
And it's not even like I made a concrete statement there either. I was asking a question. I was asking a question based on your logic.
Mother of God, I hate nostalgia eaters.
Why are you talking about nostalgia eaters in a video about casual players? They are not in the same league as each other. Not to mention, you literally went on a tangent earlier about how much you played Pokemon, so where's that same energy?
Well, if you let the video play, what she is talking about is people who buy games that have clearly dipped in quality over time, you know, franchises or whatever, and then they just buy them because they played them as a child.
People that...
Okay. You didn't even address the point I made. You didn't even address what I just said. Yeah, I know that's what she's talking about. That's why I'm saying that nostalgia eaters are not in the same league as casuals. Because nostalgia eaters are not casuals.
Just buy shit.
You didn't even address what I just said. You just went, oh, her point was this, and then you just didn't even address what I said.
They're attached to, despite how bad it is. They will buy every Pokemon game, every Assassin's Creed, every Battlefield, Call of Duty, God of War, Zelda.
Also, something I should have brought up when it came to like nostalgia eaters and Pokemon. Like, yeah, Pokemon Violet and Scarlet, I think it's called, they still sold well, but like, people still complained about issues. Like, yeah, they can still complain about it, they can still buy it, and they can still complain. It's not mutually exclusive.
But whatever you know people will buy it. I can't stand these kinds of people.
Again, this proves that these types of people are not in the same league as casual gamers, and if you are aware of this, then this should not be part of this video to begin with.
How does that not make them a casual gamer?
Because they will buy every single installment of a franchise and play that non-stop. That is the textbook definition of a nostalgia eater.
If somebody played games like as a child and they're now an adult, they want to play a game from a franchise they did back in the day, they now aren't casual anymore, even if they haven't played.
Well, yeah, if they played it as like a small pastime and not actively, then yeah, they're a casual. But if they buy every single Pokemon game and actively play it, that does not make them a casual.
Games in like the last 10 to 15 years. Like, bro, I think you're the one who doesn't know what casual means at this point.
To make their next, you're the one that's strawmanning everything I say, bruh. Real game talk. Better, despite the fact that money is fuck, now I'm saying real talk. I should kill myself. Required to make and publish the game in the first place.
No shit.
I don't get this. I'm sorry, what?
Casual means at this point.
To make their next game better, despite the fact that money is required to make and publish the game in the first place.
No shit.
You cut off my earlier statement. The reason why I said that is because you're gatekeeping a hobby. Oh my god. Put 2 and 2 together, you fucking retard. I don't get this backwards logic at all, and it sounds like something you'd get out of watching Yongya on a daily basis. Then again, this person does watch Synthetic Man a lot, so I wouldn't put it past them.
Come on, man!
There is about a 0 overlaps between somebody like Synthetic Man and Yongya. Yongya has 0 integrity and just reads Reddit all day, like the cuck he is. Synthetic Man
well, Yongya is the type of person to gatekeep a hobby, because why not? So, yeah. You're not really saying anything of value here. What kind of point are you trying to make? Like, oh, what does Yongya have to do with this? I'm saying that what you're saying is stupid and it's comparable to something like Yongya. Fucking idiot.
actually has a mind of his own and doesn't browse Reddit all day looking for the next outrage.
Dude, real talk.
Oh my god. Lefties. The scariest thing ruining this industry. Lefties are something from another world. A species of
Is that the bitch from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
The scariest thing ruining this industry.
Yeah, it's this bitch. I only know this gal because of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Wasn't she like Agent May? I don't even know her name. Anyways. Irrelevant.
Lefties are something from another world, a species of alien that targets everybody that doesn't agree with them, wanting to cancel for the stupidest things, for not being politically correct in every area of life. They will call the deaths of your families if you vote Trump, if you say men can't be women, or if you say women should know how to cook and clean. Oh my god, prepare for World War IV.
And this is coming from a Synthetic Man dick writer that will take every opportunity to call anything woke if they don't like it.
I'm getting radiation poisoning from the sheer ignorance of Nier right now.
That's not how radiation poisoning works.
Politics has been inserted into literally everything at this point. It's not always...
No. It's not how it works. Where's the politics in Minecraft? Tell me. Where's the politics in that? Where's the politics in Fortnite? Where's the politics in Vampire Survivors? Where's the politics in Doom? Where's the politics in Ultra Kill? Where's the politics in OTXO? Where's the politics in Zuma? Where's the politics in Peggle? Where's the politics in Tetris? Where's the politics in Pong? Where's the politics in Killer Instinct or Mortal Kombat? Or Street Fighter? Or Soul Calibur? Where's the politics in this game you're playing right now, Binding of Isaac? Tell me. You're gonna tell me every single video game out there has politics? Explain that. Explain Femboy Besties. I've said this before, but I'll say it again. Explain femboy besties. Where's the politics in femboy besties? Please tell me. Tell me the politics of femboy besties right now. You won't.
Blatantly in your face. A lot of times it can be really subtle enough to where it may annoy you, but not enough for normies to either notice or care. Normies only care or notice when it's blatantly in their face and it's extremely obvious.
Are you lefties that miserable about your mom making you go to church that you have to put harmful messages into already shitty video games to please yourselves?
You're the one that is blowing storytelling in video games out of proportion, claiming that lefties are behind all of this and ruining the gaming industry.
Because I forgot that if you looked up, modern developers, half of them don't have rainbow colored hair. The most of them, they obviously don't put fucking pronouns in their Twitter bios.
Using Game Awards to prove a point.
And give out like free rainbow flags and emblems to showcase it into the game for everybody to
just say you hate gay people then.
Apply to their profile and shit. No political undertones or propaganda being spreaded, obviously. This near guy really is a fucking retard.
He's out of line, but he's right.
That's pretty fucking sad if you ask me.
Where does it get you? Like, this stuff is failing because people are getting tired of it, right? You understand games like The Last of Us Part 2 or Forspoken failed because it leans so much into leftist politics that these games—
Dude, the farthest I ever got into discovering Last of Us politics was that lesbians in my video games. Lesbians. Wait until they find out that they were also lesbians in The Last of Us 1.
Games forgot how to be games.
You know for a fact that the reason why both Forspoken and The Last of Us Part 2 failed was because the games were bad overall. Shit gameplay, shit storytelling, and shit characters. But of course, like the dumbass you are, you shove politics in our face to make an incredibly outrageous argument on how it's bad.
How am I the dumbass for pointing out politics in gaming? Was I the one who wrote the line "bigot sandwich" in The Last of Us Part 2? Was I the one who
lesbians.
Added 500 pride flags in Modern Warfare 2? Was I—
Dude, just say you hate gay people. At this point. Like, every single thing you brought up that is like overly political in my video games is like gay shit, pride flags, lesbians. That's all you ever brought up. And a woman. Yeah, a woman. A woman that is fit. Just say you hate gay people. Just say you hate women. Hate yourself. I would hate myself too if I was you. But like, dude, stop. Just stop, bro. You're embarrassing yourself.
the one who said capitalism is bad in Saints Row Reboot? Was I the one
Saints Row Reboot failed because of that reason, out of many.
Who made Abby a buffed-up She-Hulk and added full-on nudity and lesbian sex into Last of Us Part 2? You really are a fucking idiot. There are politics in games.
Just say you hate lesbians then.
Games, especially modern games, and they're getting more obvious and more obnoxious as the gaming industry grows.
I'm not the one that hates lesbians in my video games. I'm not the one that idolizes a person that called a game woke because the main character is a woman and black. So you're the obnoxious one here, not me.
Yes, the gaming industry is bigger than it's always been, but it's bigger financially and politically, not
financially and motherfucker. You cannot be this mentally deficient. Oh my god. Financially and politically. Not technology-wise. Not passion-wise. Nah, just finance and politics. Those damn blackies and the women ruining my video games.
Quality gaming, which is what we should be focusing on. Stop focusing on just the politics. Actually make good—
You're the one— You're the one that's focusing on the politics. You're projecting. Literally projecting. The only reason I even brought up the politics is because you did. You brought up the politics first and are using that as an own to say that the gaming industry is ruined. You can't be serious. You just can't. You can't make this shit up, folks. You just can't.
Good games. I'm Annawaifu, the biggest female simp on YouTube, signing out.
Delete your channel while you're at it.
Yeah, make sure to go sub to Annawaifu. First sub—
No, I don't think I will.
To me though,
No, I don't think I will.
Obviously. No, but seriously, go sub to her and shit, like her videos and whatever. Like mine too. I just decided to,
No, I don't think I will.
skip the rest because it's either irrelevant, already been said by me multiple times, and honestly not much of importance was else really said. So yeah, Nier is a woke libtard who thinks politics aren't being shoved into games.
I'm a libtard now. Okay, based on what evidence?
Games and media. He calls himself a casual while playing StarCraft for the past 15 years to making videos on
How does that make me not a casual?
Video games, which would indicate that he more than likely is not a casual. And one of his main points is,
I didn't even say that I played StarCraft for 15 years straight. I just said that I had StarCraft for 15 years. That doesn't mean I played it for 15 years straight, mind you.
Does Anna even know what the word casual means when he...
No, she doesn't. She literally proved that she doesn't. Her definition of a casual gamer is a person that doesn't play games as much as other people, when that's not the definition. The definition of a casual gamer is a gamer that will play games for fun and not in a competitive way. That is the definition of a casual gamer. So she's wrong there. She does not know what a casual is.
Himself had zero fucking idea or clue. He's a pseudo-intellectual with 62 IQ trying to sound...
No, Latina Parfait. I am trying to be a pseudo-intellectual. Get it right.
Smart to other dumbasses with 62 IQ. Thanks for watching.
Dude, I swear you were projecting with the 62 IQ bullshit.
Like, sub, and all that good shit. Yeah, that's the video. Bye-bye.
When in reality, you don't even... Alright, so that's basically the video. It's a load of dog shit, and yeah, I am done. Bye-bye. But first, members, I must thank you for supporting me. Before I end things off, before I go bye-bye, I must show some love to my members. Thank you, Casca Aubrey. Thank you, Just Some Guy Online. Thank you, Psychonautic Therapy. Thank you, AdTad KM Unknown. Thank you, Dizzy. And thank you, Reject Demon. You guys are a blessing. Thank you so much for being a member of mine. I'm going to put members link in the description. Please go support me. It means a lot. And I will see you guys next time. Peace out.